I call to order this zoning meeting for Knox County Commission for Monday, July, I keep forgetting what the day is, 20th, at 5:31. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rawls.
Present.
Commissioner Darrett. Commissioner Oster.
Here.
Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Russell. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Thompson. Commissioner Fox. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
10 members present.
Thank you. I will now turn it over to Commissioner Jackson for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. On the amendments to the agenda, is there any discussion? Seeing none, do I have a motion? Oh, I'm over here on the wrong one, guys, sorry. I got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Jackson. Open voting. You may change your vote. Voting is closed. And Commissioner Frazier? All right, that passed. Next item, approval of minutes. Any discussion? Seeing none, I have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second? By Commissioner Russell. Open voting, please. All right, and that passed. Next item, we are going to turn it over to Director Moyers to swear in the applicants.
All right, if you're here to speak to this body on any matter on the agenda, either for or against, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Be seated.
Thank you. All right. I do want to apologize to the applicants that we're eating. I think that is so rude for us to do, but we didn't have much of a break between the last meeting, so we may be chewing, and I apologize. If you will read the first item, please.
Item number 1, 4-U-26-RZ is a request of Natalia Inframenco for rezoning from A agricultural to RA low-density residential. The property is located at 768 South Gallagher View Road. Parcel ID is 133-01801 in the 4th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Come on down to the podium, and you will push that little person on the black box and give us your name and county of residence.
My name is Rick Wilkinson. I'm partners with Natalia Fermenko, and you need my address?
Just county of residence. Okay.
What? Okay.
All right. And we have no one signed up to speak, so Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the RA low-density residential because it's consistent with the Knox County Comprehensive Plan and surrounding development.
Thank you. Would you like to speak to the project? Tell us a little bit about it.
Ma'am, we're just going to build 2 single-family homes on this 1.45-acre property.
Okay, perfect. Any questions for the applicant? Seeing none, I will turn it over to Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to approve this as presented.
Thank you. I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Jackson. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Hill. Open voting, please. All right, and you may change your vote. Close voting, and that passed. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was too slow on that. Yeah, you got me. Next item, please.
Item number 2 is 5-E-26-PA. It's a request of Parker Fegans for a comprehensive plan amendment from RC Rural Conservation and HP Hillside Protection to RCC Rural Crossroads Commercial and HP Hillside Protection. The property is located at 0 and 7801 Strawberry Plains Pike, parcel ID 062-05402, 05405 partial, and it's in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Hi, if you'll come on down. And I can't yeah, it's still on. Okay, wanted to make sure it was still on. If you'll give your name and county residence, please.
Yes, ma'am. Parker Fegans, Knox County. My apologies for the sunglasses. I had an eye procedure today. I know
Don't
they're
worry about it,
goofy.
you're fine.
Yeah.
I love those actually, because
Okay,
I'm
good,
blinded by
good.
this light. Yeah, okay. There are no one signed up to speak in opposition, so Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the RCC Rural Crossroads Commercial Plan Amendment request for the portion of the property shown on the agenda map because it is consistent with the changing conditions in the area.
Thank you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, we're going to be building 1 retail space as well as 3 flex spaces for local service businesses.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions for the applicant? All right, seeing none, we will turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since this is just the plan amendment portion of it, I'll go ahead and make a motion to recommend approval.
All right, we got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson and a second by Commissioner Frazier. Open voting, please. You may change your vote and close voting, and that passed. Best of luck with your project, sir, and best of luck with your...
He's not
Oh,
going
you've
anywhere.
got the next one, I'm sorry.
I do.
I'm sorry, keep going.
The next item is 5-L-26-RZ. It's also a request of Parker Fegans, and it's for a rezoning from CA General Business and A Agricultural to CR Rural Commercial. I think the property description is the same as the previous item.
Perfect,
Yes.
thank you. No one signed up in opposition. Director Brooks?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the CR Rural Commercial Zone because it's consistent with the adopted plan, subject to 2 conditions.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. Any questions? Seeing none, turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations for making it this far. I know we'd met
Yeah.
at the Planning Commission meeting a couple months ago. I did have a couple questions for Director Snowden regarding the access on Wooddale Road. So what you're saying is that you prefer the access point be on Strawberry Plains Pike and not Wooddale Road, is that correct?
I do. Typically we like access on the side street, but in this particular case, the gentleman's property has limited frontage, so his driveway is really, really close to the intersection, and as traffic grows in there, that typically creates a conflict with turning movements. And it looks like there may not be sight distance at that location that would require grading off-site that he may not have the adjacent owner's permission. And he does have enough frontage to get a driveway onto Straw Plains, so we would ask for the driveway location to be on Straw Plains and the driveway on Wooddale, I can't remember the name of that side street.
Yeah, Straw Plains and Wooddale. I'm glad you brought that up. So we actually planned on adding a second parking lot on the opposite side. We're going to build a separate building, and considering the county just recently approved that driveway, we do have no intention of moving that driveway. I meant to bring that up earlier.
No intention of removing the Wooddale Road?
Yeah, no, that's not really possible, and we just submitted the drawings probably late 2024, and it was approved by the county. There will be no substantial change in traffic at our existing property because our plan is to add an additional parking lot with a driveway onto Strawberry Plains Pike.
Yeah, Amy, or Director Brooks is showing that a condition of approval of Planning Commission was the removal of the access from Wooddale Road, which we would prefer just because the line of sight is not very good looking back to the left as you exit the driveway.
You're okay, so you're saying that the access point on Wooddale, the line of sight is not?
It's my understanding, looking back to the left, it's not ideal.
So, I mean, I could meet you in the middle there. We do own the property directly across the street, actually, not the entire parcel, but the front corner of it. And if you would like grading done, we can make that happen. But as I said, we just got that driveway approved and built in late 2024, and there will be no substantial increase in traffic at the existing property as we will be adding an additional building with a separate driveway and parking lot.
So there is an intent to add an access point on Strawberry Plains
Yes,
Pike?
that's correct, and the 2 parking lots will not be connected. And so we will maintain the existing parking lot exactly as it is. There will be another building to the left if you're facing from the street, And on the opposite side of that building, there will be an additional parking lot with a driveway onto Strawberry Plains Pike.
So what you're talking about is two separate buildings, two separate parking lots.
Correct.
Director Stone, how would that change, or would it change the thought process?
Yeah, I need to speak to my staff because I didn't, this gentleman says that we approved the driveway. I didn't realize that, or I was not aware of that, because it didn't look like they met the separation requirements in the access control policy.
Okay.
So I would need to look at that. I mean, if they meet the access control policy requirements and have the line of sight, we would obviously be okay with that. I didn't think that they did.
Okay.
So I would need to do a little analysis on that to determine whether or not that driveway would be permissible through our regulations, because I don't believe we approved it. Now, maybe we did, sir.
You know, I might be wrong. I've only been with the company about 18 months now, but I do have a copy of the original, what was submitted to the building folks for the building permit. So it didn't go through the planning committee because it was
sir.
already zoned commercial. But
Yes, sir.
it was approved on the building permit when we built that parking lot in the driveway. That was exactly as it was permitted to the drawings we submitted to the county.
Okay, good deal. And my staff may have made an error in that, so, but it was, when we looked at it, it did look like it didn't meet the requirements. So that was our concern. That's why we wanted the access relocated. But we'll definitely take another look at it and make sure that it's within compliance.
Okay. Because overall, I don't have an issue with rezoning this, but I just want to make sure that we, from a traffic safety perspective, we get it right for you all too, because I don't want.
Yeah, well,
Any-
the volume of vehicles coming in and out of there is going to stay very low. Our proposed new building is going to have most of the traffic volume, and seeing it has not caused an issue since it's been built, I don't foresee any substantial change in that.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there any reason that would be terribly inconvenient for you all for us to postpone this 30 days to?
It really would be. We actually have tenants that are waiting to move into this new building, and we're already about 60 days behind. So, I mean, if there's any way we could sort this out today, that would be great.
Do you have a driveway access to Strawberry Plains already, or no?
We do not currently. We have a temporary one that's being used for another construction project on the property. But as of right now, no. We would be submitting that with our new building plans for the new parking lot and building.
Okay. Well, Director Snowden, what are you?
I was talking to Director Brooks. I wouldn't, I mean, certainly if the applicant can meet all our standards on the access to Wooddale, we're okay with that. But maybe we can potentially condition it so that if those conditions can't be met, that access would have to be closed and he would have to access Strawberry Plains. That might be an option.
That is a possibility. We already have a gate installed there, so if you would like to phrase it that way, that works for me. We can shut that gate and we can plan around it. But like I said, I would like to keep the access on Wooddale because if you see the map, there's that hillside area back there, and we've got the water line, and we've got the 35-foot setback. And so it would be pretty hard to utilize the space in the manner that we intend to without having those two separate access points.
Do you own that adjoining parcel?
Which one?
Do you have that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the one that I'm concerned about that may need the off-site grading easement. So I think the only way engineering and public works will feel comfortable would be have some sort of condition that we get a chance to look at that driveway and confirm that it meets all our standards before we allow that access to continue.
Okay. So how, for the clerk's sake, how would you like that condition worded that you're comfortable with, that we can? move
Yeah.
forward today?
Yeah, go ahead. Amy's got scribed out here much better than I can say it, so.
So the conditions, you could modify condition number 2. The existing access to South Wooddale Road must be removed unless the access can meet the county access control policy and standards.
Agreed.
Okay, we good with that?
You will, okay, perfect.
Did you get that?
Now, let me ask this.
Okay.
It's really expensive to pour concrete, as you guys know. If this was previously approved by the county, are you saying that if it goes against those standards now and you guys approved it in error, we will still have to go back and redo this at our cost?
Basically, from what I hear Director Snowden saying is that if like you said, there's no change in condition of the amount of traffic that's moving forward for that particular access point, then there would not be a need to close Wooddale Road, correct?
Say that one more time.
If there's not a change in the conditions or the traffic flow or the amount of traffic accessing Wooddale Road moving forward, then there would not be a need to close that access point, correct?
My concern is the line of sight. And I don't believe they have the adequate line of sight. And I'm not disputing that maybe my staff approved it that way, but, you know, personally, I can't in good faith, you know, allow a driveway to be installed that doesn't have adequate sight distance.
It wouldn't be installed. It already exists and was approved. And like I said,
But
I
it-
don't want to stand on this and say 100% it was, but I'm 99% sure that it was approved by the county and it was built exactly as the drawings were that we submitted to the county. And so my question is, if we have to remove this driveway, will it be at my cost, even though it was approved by the county? Because concrete is not cheap, sir.
I mean, I think if it had, and this is just my opinion, if it had to be removed and the county was in error, I mean, I think the county highway department would remove it at their expense.
Okay, and would they replace an entrance on Strawberry Plains Pike, though? That's my main concern.
No, sir, because
yeah.
that would be your responsibility per the staff report.
Yeah, but see, we just poured this concrete. I mean, it's barely even cured at this point. And so that's kind of my concern is if it was already approved, why are we having to foot the bill on the back end? Because
And that's my thing. I don't know if it was approved, sir. That's what we
Okay.
have to look at
Yeah.
and see.
All right, then, to give some time to clear up the confusion, because I don't want you all to have the expense of clearing something out that you won't need to, and then that way you give you're all time to figure out, you know, what was done when, because once we made the decision's done. And so to, I guess, avoid any potential landmines in, I guess, patching this together tonight, I would like to defer this to August, just to make sure that you're good and engineering's good and we're okay moving forward. So,
All right, I've got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson to defer for 30 days. Do I have a second? Commissioner Thompson, can you?
oh, what? Oh,
All right, she's got to remove everybody now.
not touching anything.
Keep your hands to yourself. Now,
Okay.
there you go. And then who wants to be second? Perfect. All right, Commissioner Fox?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had a question for Director Snowden. You're talking about sight distance for traffic coming southeast on Wooddale Road? Is that,
I would be, if you're in his driveway looking left, so a
Looking left,
traffic.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
okay, all right.
Yes, sir. And if you'll share that permit with me, sir, I mean, we certainly want to work with you. It's just,
Yeah, no, I
I just got to make sure too that, you know, public safety's, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I completely understand
So
it.
we-
I see your point of view there, man.
All right, we have got a motion on the floor to defer for 30 days with a second. Open voting, please. You may change your vote. And voting is closed, and that passed. So we will see you back in August, and best of luck with your eyes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a
Thank
wonderful day.
you. Have a great day. Next item, please.
Item number 4 is 5-N-26-RZ. It's a request of James Jenkins for rezoning from A agricultural to PR Plan residential up to 9 dwelling units per acre. The property is located at 0 Pine Grove Road, parcel ID 084 CA 02001 02103 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commission. My name is John Valiant. I'm here on behalf of James Jenkins. My address is 606 West Main Street, Suite 225. I'm here today.
Let me stop you real quick.
Sure.
We don't have anybody signed up in opposition. Director Brooks, and then I'll let you go.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR plan residential up to 5 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with the comprehensive plan, subject to 2 conditions.
Perfect. Now the floor is yours.
Thank you, Commissioner Oster. Yes, today, Commission, I'm actually asking for a density reduction. And so I was wanting to speak with you guys to see if you guys would be in support of that. We were hoping to go from 5 units to 4 units. I believe one of the conditions, and I think we were hoping to do the development subject to none of the conditions that were on there, although I'll tell you, I'm not sure, I can't remember off the top of my head what the 2 conditions were. I believe one was going to be infrastructure. We were going to have to work on the road, and then I believe there might have been some setbacks within the property. Now, the setbacks, I think, are going to be consistent with how we would have to develop it anyway, so I don't think we have an issue with the setback if that is what the other condition is, but want to put that before Commission, really hoping we could do a density reduction in exchange for not having to bother with the road.
Okay. Director Brooks, can you give me the 2 conditions?
Certainly. The 2 conditions were existing healthy trees be retained within the 35-foot peripheral setback, and 2, Pine Grove Road will be improved from the access point of the future development to Strawberry Plains Pike as determined by Knox County Engineering and Public Works.
Okay, so that's the part that you
Yes.
want to have gone because you're going down to 4.
Yes.
Perfect. And we never have anybody come in and want less, so that's awesome. Seeing no questions, Commissioner Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's been a minute since we were out at the property and looked at it. Across the street, there is another development as well. And when we met, obviously we discussed 4 units an acre then, and after talking to engineering, and because I saw the condition here, and I'm like, that's almost a mile of road to get to Strawberry Plains Pike, and so I spoke with Director Snowden and looking at what I try to avoid in looking at these, and I appreciate the sentiment of wanting to reduce the density to avoid the infrastructure improvements in the road, improving the road, and whenever we have something in, and it sounds good to make the developers pay for improving roads, but whenever you approve a small road like this, you're also impacting all the residents who already live on that road because you're taking up their front yards. You're putting in a wider road. You may have to put in other sewer and other utilities and things like that. Obviously, we don't have to do that here. It's the road width is the issue. But you're still getting into the roads, and everybody on the mile stretch from here to Strawberry Plains would have to deal with construction, putting in new roads or widening the road. After speaking with Director Snowden, to remove that. Really, because I have gotten some emails from residents. I know there's nobody in opposition here saying, "Oh, don't approve it, don't approve it." It is in the urban growth boundary. I'm not dumb. I understand that in planning and knowing the periphery and the I guess the access to this property as close as it is to Strawberry Plains Pike, it would be unrealistic to, there's no grounds to outright deny this, right? But to eliminate the infrastructure improvement, I think we would need to be about 3 units an acre, but it does eliminate, there's no requirement for any road improvements, but you get 3 units an acre here. The property itself has some topographical issues, and the backside of the property, it's mostly rock. So I'm assuming you're building on the front portion of the property. Is that correct?
That is correct. So
Okay.
I believe the native trees that were discussed as a part of that that other part is, those are towards the back of the property. And so those would fall within that setback. I think one of the things that we discussed up to this point is we're trying to figure out kind of the right sweet spot here. I think one of the difficulties is there are two other developments on this same stretch of road that were developed and approved at 4 units an acre that did not have the same conditions. And so I understand that absolutely we want to make sure that we're doing everything the way that we should. But I do know that there were several other individuals that have developed in this area and have not had that restriction. And really, we just want to be consistent with them. I think the issue with the 3 units, it's my understanding that we could build 3 units with the current zoning designation, and we would not necessarily need a rezone. And so that was kind of the hope, is that we could find that middle ground and maybe have 4 units an acre like the other parcels consistent that are nearby.
Sure. Let me pull that up real quick, sorry. Bear with me. So the current zoning is ag. So you'd be limited to 1 unit an acre as it's currently zoned. Director Brooks, what is, for the city, because we're right there on the edge of the city limits, what is the density typically for RN1?
Those are a minimum of 10,000 square foot lots.
10,000 square foot yachts,
Yeah.
that's,
Dimensional, they don't do it by density per acre. So I'd have to look at the actual property and how many.
and 10,000 square foot lots, what's the typical setback for those?
I'd have to look, I don't know off the top of my head, about 20 feet typical.
20 feet, so that's, so to be consistent with RN1, so you're, what, 3.5 units an acre? Give or take? I mean, that's, I can't speak to why something else in the county, because everything else is in the city. That's approved on Pine Grove. The only other one that's approved on Pine Grove that's in the county is the one across the street. And I can't speak to why that one was approved at the density it was. But to not be required to do any of the road improvements, just the volume of traffic, because everything, once you go out Pine Grove Road, it's pretty sparse. So there's not a lot of volume out that way. So I'd meet you in the middle at 3.5 units an acre. Does that change your total units? Let me get my calculator.
That would affect the overall project. I think one of the things, as a part of the 2024 comprehensive plan, I believe that it has already been approved that it would kind of go to this greater designation. And if it's not this exact designation, I think it might be, it's a very similar designation. It's either an RN or a PR designation for what the 2024 comprehensive plan was asking for. So I guess that probably would affect kind of our ability to move forward today. I guess under those circumstances, I would probably have to go back and speak with my client to see if that's something that we could do. We were really hoping that if we were going to continue forward and have to do road improvements, I think the issue is we just fear that there is too great of a financial burden that would be associated with that, given that other units in the area have been approved at 4 units an acre by city and county, and without the same infrastructure requirements. And I think that we're just hoping to have consistent treatment with those at this stage.
Okay. Director Snowden, would you have concerns at 4 units an acre with no road improvements?
How many acres is it, John?
7.24.
That's correct.
This road it's a lot like a lot of county roads. It meanders in and out. It's probably 90% of it's 18 foot wide. But then there are a few spots that are at 17 feet. I think once we, when the next time we resurface it, we would get, when we repave, we always spread those wings out and get, 2 or 3 inches on either side. So, I think long-term, we could get this road to that 18-foot minimum threshold that probably would accommodate 4 dwelling units an acre if that's what you wanted to do. So I don't think that I wouldn't have a really big concern with 4 dwelling units an acre if you felt like that was something that you would support from a transportation perspective.
Okay. All right. So we started at 9, Planning Commission did 5, you're asking for 4. There's tougher battles out there to fight than this. So I make a motion for 4 units an acre with, and you're fine with that 35-foot setback is still perfectly fine. So the condition of the trees and stuff in that, okay, so we're still keeping the first condition, but removing the second, that 4 units an acre.
Push your motion button.
Oh, sorry.
All right, I got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson. Do I have a second? I got a second by Commissioner Jackson. Open voting, please. You may change your vote. And that vote passed. Congratulations. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
All right, next item, please.
Item number 5 is 6-D-26-RZ. It's a request of Be It Ventures LLC for rezoning from A agricultural to F floodway and PR plan residential up to 2 dwelling units per acre and F floodway. The property is located at 8922 3 Points Road, parcel ID 042016 in the 8th Commission District.
Thank you. Hello. Hi. You'll come up to the mic and state your name and county residence.
Dawn Arian, Knox County.
All right, and we have no one signed up in opposition, so Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR Plan Residential Zone up to 2 dwelling units per acre because it's partially related to the RC place type and meets the intent of the PR zone.
Thank you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're wanting to do?
Hi, this property, one portion of it fronts Rutledge Pike, and then it curves around onto 3 Points. It's 3.44 acres. Significant portion of it is in the flood zone, so I asked for a rezoning so that I'd have more flexibility in how I subdivide the property.
Okay, perfect. Seeing no questions, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I had a couple questions about this particular property. You had you sold it before? I was looking at the ownership history, and it looked like it changed a little bit. Had you sold it and then purchased it back?
Yeah, I'm Dawn Arian, my company's Bay Ventures, so I think there was a quick claim in there.
Oh, okay,
Between
gotcha.
myself and the company, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to subdivide it. Is there any particular reason? I mean, you've had it for a while, and you've had other projects in other places, correct?
Yes.
Like this. What I guess what interests you in subdividing this particular piece of property now?
With the way the property's laid out, I think there's 4 potential building sites, including the home that's there now. So there's 1 lot that would be dedicated to the existing residents. but I think there's 3 other potential building sites. And with the current zoning, that would not be possible. So this would just allow for more flexibility in how it's subdivided to be able to put an additional dwelling.
Okay. I was trying to, Director Brooks, I was trying to pull up the map that showed the flood zone. And my map is not, I'm clicking the box, but it's not working.
Yeah, when I originally met with the county about this, they said that this area was going into an area that was going to allow a minimum of, I think, 0.5 acre per dwelling. So that was in a discussed rezoning of the entire area for the proposed future zoning of the area. I'm not sure where that's at, honestly, in the discussion with y'all. But, so I had already applied for the rezoning, so they said, you know, I met with I came to the June meeting, and they, with discussion, recommended just to move forward with this application. And they're actually asking for, they're asking for 4 total units on the total acreage because of the floodway.
Right. Yeah, if you go back to, if you look at the case summary, not the case summary, I'm sorry, the application, staff report, and recommendation. Drusilla, I don't know, can you pull that up? Yeah, the application and staff report.
Yeah, that has imagery.
Because overall, the 3 Points Road, it does have access to Rutledge Pike, but I'm assuming that actually direct access would be more on 3 Points Road.
Yeah, that doesn't look like our file. Maybe it's further up.
Commissioner Thompson and Madam Chair, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Do you mind? Thank you for that. Director Brooks, can you just speak a little bit to the staff recommendation to
I got it
deny
here.
PR zone with up to 2 due to environmental constraints with the site?
Yes, I can. And to respond to Commissioner Thompson, so if you're looking for I think the map that he's referring to, it's Exhibit A on the contextual maps. If you want to look that up while I answer this question. So yes, planning staff did not recommend approval due to the environmental constraints on the property. The place type is rural conservation, but roughly 1 acre of the property is zoned floodway and cannot be developed for residential uses. The PR zone with up to 2 dwelling units per acre would allow up to the 4 units that the applicant just mentioned on the remaining approximate, I think it's 2.44 acres of the property. So as you all know, the PR zone is meant for environmentally challenged sites, but I think staff, when evaluating this, felt like that the extent of the constraints, really, the significant environmental constraints led to that recommendation of denial, but the Planning Commission obviously recommended approval.
And I believe in you, Drew. You can find it. It's the
maps are not attached to the report. No, the maps are not attached to the report. You have to go into KGIS and actually put in the address, and that's where you can see some of the environmental constraints.
It's on knoxplanning.org. I typed in the case file and then went to the application.
Yeah, it's
Staff report
not attached to
recommendations.
ours.
But the flood zone, I mean, this honestly, this flood zone looks very similar to the flood zone that I deal with on our property. And I'm in that area. I wouldn't in good conscience want to approve something in this particular area, knowing that it floods this much, because it just leaves, I mean, it leaves the future residents dealing with wet crawl spaces. I mean, nobody's gonna have a basement here. But, and if you were to build up the site enough to where it's not in the floodplain, then the water has to go somewhere on somebody else. It's unfortunate, because it's a good location. It's just, it has some, it's right there on the creek. It's right there on Roseberry Creek. And it's 3.5 acres, so you don't have a lot of room to put it. I have a hard time supporting this one.
Well, the home was built in 1947, and I don't believe there is a history of it flooding in that period of time. I mean, I recognize that it's in a flood zone, but there's not actually been flooding.
Well, and where that house is, I mean, you can have, that house may not have been flooded, but when you're talking about building 4 more homes on the same property, that house may be okay, but the 2 closer to the creek would not be.
Well, I'm not saying just the house, I'm saying the property in total. We've not seen flooding on the property, nor in its history. The creek is quite large and can carry a large volume of water. And there is topography, existing topography, where the houses can be built up out of the flood zone. If you can scroll to the right, you can see where it abuts Rutledge Pike on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
When we met with planning, they agreed that there were a number of environmental constraints on the property, and they agreed that how it's subdivided not be an additional constraint. There's enough constraints already, and that giving some flexibility in how it's subdivided would make better use of the property.
And I'd like to meet you in the middle. I get what you're wanting to do here, and I don't. And so what I'd like to do is, instead of, they're saying a total of 4 houses, given the flood zone, if it stays as it is and you can build 4 in an ag zone, you're forced to build them and spread them out.
Yes.
I'd be willing to do, particularly on this property, given you have the flood zone and the 100-year flood shows us a massive portion of the property, I'd be willing to do a PR at 1, and that would allow you to cluster it to get it away from the creek.
Okay, are you looking at the 100-year or the 500-year? Both?
I'm looking at both.
Okay.
Because I mean, Director Brooks, correct me if I'm wrong, but as it stands now, there's no clustering available, but at a PR at 1, it still allows them to cluster it and build.
Yes, the PR allows them to cluster.
Okay.
Correct.
And then that would stay in character with the rest of that road. I mean, it's a little dead end road. It ends up on Rutledge Pike. So, Director Brooks, do you have any concerns or issues with that? So staff would probably be okay with.
Well, I can't speak to that. We didn't evaluate it for
1.
a different type of density.
Right. You just looked at it at PR at 2.
That's correct.
Okay. Then I'd like to make a motion that we do a PR at 1.
I've got a motion on the floor. Hit your button, please. By Commissioner Thompson and a second by Commissioner Fox. We have got Commissioner Hill.
Thank you. So the total homes on the property would then be 3. So they would be building 2 more homes.
They'd be building 2 more.
I believe the current zoning allows that. where no change is made.
Well, the current zoning
No,
allows that,
no.
but no clustering. So you'd actually have a minimum lot size in the current
An
zone.
acre lot.
Right.
So you would not be able to do that right now. Well, no, you wouldn't, because you're too much floodplain.
So this would reduce your minimum lot size, so then you could cluster it and not have to put anything close to the creek.
Right, well, I wasn't intending to put anything close to the creek. It has a red line that you can't go past in terms of doing even fill dirt. So any future plans submitted would be, reflect that red line. It's just, this really ties my hands and what I can do there.
Hold on one second.
Where are you going to put the access to this property, to the other homes?
2 would be off 3 Points and 1 would be off Rutledge Pike.
Does that, yeah, would you look at
Potentially.
that, Director Snowden?
Can you repeat?
I was asking Director Snowden about those access points.
Have you talked to TDOT about an access point, ma'am?
No, I haven't gone that far yet.
Okay, yeah, that's their facility, because you look at it, this lady's referring to the red line, that's our no boundary.
Right.
That's halfway between the floodway and the.
3.44?
Director Snowden, I think,
Push your microphone down.
there you go.
There we go. Yeah. Anyway, yes, but that red line, I looked at that before we came in here. About 1.65 acres of the 3.44 is above that no-fill line. So that's essentially what the applicant would have to work with as far as the total area for home construction or fillings.
Would be 1.6 acres?
Yes, ma'am, approximately. Yes, ma'am.
That's
That's outside the no-fill line.
Commissioner Hill, if you don't mind, so just for clarification, you're saying there's 1.6 acres that is outside that red line that could be built on? So out of the 3.44, only 1.6 acres can be built on? Okay, so then we're looking at roughly 3 units on 1 acre, or 1.6 acres, so an acre and a half. Okay, and would any of that property, buildable property, be accessible to Rutledge Pike?
lot is, they'd all be right there together. Since I still technically have the floor, I just would, I'd just like to say to Commissioner Fox, Thompson, as far as I appreciate you're trying to accommodate here. I do have real concerns about environmental constraints.
Well, those environmental constraints remain regardless of the zoning in terms of how the lot's developed. So those have to be taken into consideration as we move forward. And the subdivision review will take those into account as well.
They do. The environmental constraint, I don't see how you get access to Rutledge Pike. All the access would have to be on 3 Points Road. Because even if you avoided the flood zone, the rest of it, it's almost like a little miniature ridge. I mean, either, I mean, I'm still at PR at 1, or, I mean, well, I mean, Commissioner Hill, I understand the environmental constraints. And I mean, I drive past this property all the time. I mean, this is in my backyard. And I just,
So we've got a motion on the floor with PR1.
PR1.
PR1, okay. And we've got a second. All right, so open voting, please.
For clarification, PR1 then is actually allowing 3.5 homes.
Yes, yeah, and on that 1.6 acres that, with, and if I could add a condition that all access be on 3 Points Road. Let there be no access to Rutledge Pike.
Can we come out of the voting and cancel that? Okay. All right, so let's go out of that and then add that condition that access is to be on 3 Points Road. Okay, yeah, we've added that condition, so we're gonna open voting back up. Sorry about that. You may change your vote. And voting is closed, and that passed. Best luck. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. On number 6, I missed this and I apologize. We need a motion to defer number 6. It's deferred to August. I need a motion. Well, somebody just tell me.
Commissioner Fox.
Okay, second? All right. Got a motion on the floor by Commissioner Fox and a second by Commissioner Russell. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We don't have any other items. Ben? You? Okay. He just really is you really want to punish yourself, don't you? All right. Let me remind everybody that Monday at 3:30 in the main assembly room, we will be meeting with KCSO. Have your questions for them, please. No beer board on Monday, regular meeting obviously at 5. If you have any questions for Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Rawls, Commissioner Jay, or Commissioner Thompson, please put those on forum so those commissioners will be prepared to be able to answer the questions instead of, sometimes that doesn't always happen and you don't have the answers. And so anyways, try to do that. Make sure you give all your stuff to Drew and have a wonderful weekend. Do I have a motion to? You cleared Commissioner Thompson? Oh, Commissioner Thompson. She apologizes.
Oh, you're fine. I just wanted to remind everybody that this Thursday, or no, I'm sorry, not Thursday, but Friday, they're having a school supply slam with
Yes.
Student Mania coming up Friday. Those in my district in Coreyton, Mascot, Gibbs area, Coreyton Food Pantry there at Rutherford Memorial will be handing out their school backpacks on Thursday during the normal food pantry distribution. So,
Okay, and Mayor Jacobs does his at Jacobs Center, is that?
I think so on.
Is that where it is on Friday?
Yeah, that's on Friday.
Okay. I know that is usually
And
packed.
then Saturday, they have the distributions from 9 to 11.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys, and we will see you next week. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned.